Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into my week 7 presentation for our conflict class. Today we'll be taking a look at 4 separate articles and 1 video that are discussing design systems, training, and education. The first article we'll address is by Samantera, written in 2004. This article focuses on 5 separate methods of conflict management, which are withdrawing, smoothing, compromising, forcing, and problem solving. And it also analyzes how these methods impact perceived measures of organizational effectiveness, such as productivity, adaptability, and flexibility. The 5 methods align as the chart on screen suggests. Every method falls on a spectrum for both relational and goal importance. A good example is if you look at the withdrawing stat. That's the key example of something with very low priority as well as low relational importance. On the opposite spectrum, we have problem solving, which emphasizes a high importance of both relationships and goals when approaching conflict, with the other 3 categories falling in between the two. Samantera found that problem solving tends to be the most effective method of conflict management, which is followed by smoothing. Next, we'll go over Liz Kislick's TED Talk found on YouTube regarding conflict management. Kislick breaks down conflict to a miscommunication between individuals, and this miscommunication is built upon the differences in habits, norms, backgrounds, beliefs, policies, as well as other items that you can see displayed on the left side of the slide. So it's not so much a conflict between 2 individuals, but it's a conflict that separates the backgrounds of both individuals. She then goes over 5 steps of conflict resolution. The first is to determine if one person is the sole source of the conflict, whether that be someone who is a bully or someone who is incompetent in their role. Second, you need to ask the right people the right questions regarding the conflict. And often you have to talk to people who are on the ground level that are closest to the issue to get adequate answers. Third, you must ensure that all groups and individuals are aligned regarding the responsibilities and priorities. Fourth, you must find allies on all levels in order to implement changes. And lastly, you must teach new habits for managing differences. Next, we'll move on to Talesh's 2012 article regarding dispute resolution design. Talesh analyzes how the structure of the resolution design influences the meaning and implementation, specifically regarding consumer protection laws for lemon vehicles. They compare the different designs implemented in California versus Vermont that gave different meanings to similar lemon laws. Vermont implemented a state-run dispute board to offer either a full refund or replacement of lemon vehicles, whereas California uses a single arbitrator system within a private dispute resolutions program. And this is where the claimant goes before a panel of 5 different people in order to plead their case for why their vehicle is a lemon. And statistics show that Vermont actually awards a substantial difference more than California, despite following similar lemon laws. And this really shows how the design approaching a dispute really shows just how much it affects the outcome of the dispute conflict. The last article we will look at revolves around training. This study analyzes what measures of training are deemed valuable, which you can see are all on the screen. So 3/4 of participants identified performance improvement as the most valuable measure. 53% valued cost and benefit analysis. However, the biggest measure of training value was direct feedback from participants, so that way upper management would be able to hear if the training was effective for them. Switching gears, a conflict that can occur in a government department is an unexpected increase in workload with set expectations to complete everything as before without additional resources given to accomplish the goal. This scenario happens all too often due to public demands and tight budgets. This conflict can be handled in the very beginning phases of the implementation with proper training and education, preventing further escalation. Upper management must explain the why behind the change, and they have to train employees how to efficiently attain their goal. They could host a roundtable forum in order to get feedback from associates regarding the policy changes, as this would build communication and relationships through a problem-solving technique rather than using the force technique, which would damage long-lasting relationships. Thank you guys so much for listening to my presentation. I really look forward to learning more about y'all's, and I hope y'all have a great day.